Good luck.
Hey guys, good evening. This is Murli Balasubramaniam from Dallas, Texas, trying to take you through a world-class semifinal match of the 2023 U.S. Open Carom Championships. It's been a whole day of 128 players fighting it out, and ultimately we have our semifinalists on screen. You have Lenus and Lenus from Singapore and Jayaprakash from California, pairing up against Chamil Cooray and Chamil Cooray from Sri Lanka and Louis Fernandes from Canada. These are some of the world's best carom players who um, uh, more introductions about who's playing a little in a bit, but let me invite and welcome Madhu, my partner in crime today.
Thank you, Murli. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to semi-final number one of the U.S. Open 2023 Carom Championship. What a fascinating game we have on our hands. This is going to be a cracker of a game. Four best players across the entire day today, going through 6 rounds of league and pre-quarterfinals and now actually into finals. I'm really looking forward to this game.
It looks like they're playing the second board right now, and JP just about cleaned up on a miss from Chamil. I think very shortly they'll enter the scores. We will know what happened. I think board number 3 is being set up. That's 1 point to Jayaprakash and Lenus. So that was an interesting, aggressive move by Chamil there to try and finish up that board, don't you think?
Yeah, I think given they had got the queen, I think Chamil went there for a finish and he missed it, and JP certainly capitalized on that miss. We are about to begin board 3. That Lenus to break. I think referee is asking Lenus to adjust the racking to make sure the queen is at the center of the board, and the player usually needs to ask for a permission. You directly ask for a play, and the referee gives a green signal. And here we go, board 3. That's a successful break from Lenus. He's got few open coins now. I think he'll probably gonna actually take all of those open coins and then free up for his partner.
You will notice, viewers, that he has to exercise some amount of caution, some amount of defensive play as the guy who will follow. Um, the guy who just broke the board, Lenus, that is going to be Chamil, and it cannot be a free path for Chamil with his blacks, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I think that was a fantastic brush stroke from Lenus, clearing a path for queen. Oh, that's wonderful pocketing from Lenus there. He needs to pocket another white now to what we call a cover for the queen, and he is going for the long coin as a cover.
That's his best choice, don't you think, Madhu?
I think he's also got the. Oh, that was not the queen.
Yeah, we're going color blind, I guess. But I think it's a little bit of a glare on the screen at this point, so we can't identify whether that was a queen or the white. They both look about the same color at this point. Chamil is a very good striker of the um, carom coin. He has very smooth strokes. As a viewer, you would be thinking it's so easy, this game. Let me tell you, this man has been Sri Lanka's hero for quite a long time, having won the national championships for almost something like 10 times. Um, so it making it all look so easy. It's not easy, trust me.
One thing for sure, clearly I need bigger glasses. So I can going colorblind here. So apologies to the viewers.
So what JP is trying to do at this point is, while pocketing his base white coin, he's trying to also put that black out of position for Louis, who follows, and I think that's a good move. It's always important to have insurance while you're playing the game.
I like to believe that was queen, what Louis just pocketed. Needs to actually take a cover.
I think Madhu, it seems to be an open pathway for Louis to finish up this board. A couple of difficult positions, but the one which is going to be quite difficult to work with is going to be that black and on Louis' left side. Now Lenus has to think about how he's going to navigate the board. He has one difficult white position.
I think he's going to go for the long cut here. Oh, what a shot that is from Lenus.
That's one of the most extremely difficult ones. He's going to double touch this coin after playing something which is absolutely sublime. He missed a fairly regular shot, don't you think?
Yeah, that was a uncanny miss from Lenus there. I think Chamil is trying to actually defend. The goal here is he wants to make sure your partner gets a turn, and that was a wonderful defense from Chamil.
And I've known Chamil for about almost 10, 12 years now. I've never seen him really defend a coin directly like that. It is the stakes that make them be cautious and make sure his partner gets a turn while ensuring the opponents don't finish. This is a tricky position for Louis.
This is going to be a crucial shot now.
Louis was pretty confident of making the one on a strike zone and getting one back. He missed that. Again, I would say it's what is at stake. It's nerves. It's having to get it right absolutely because no insurance. So he was being a little cautious, I thought.
I think they get 3 more points. I think JP and Lenus.
Well, while they're setting up and Chamil is going to be extremely rapid in playing, I think it's important to explain to the viewers what the format of the semifinals is. I thought it was the best of 3 games, correct?
That is correct, Murli. It's a best of 3 games. Each game is about 8 boards or 25 points or 45 minutes time limit. So whichever comes earlier. Now we are in game 1, and this is the 4th open.
And to remind you viewers, this is the semi-final of the 2023 US Open Carom Championships is being held here at Fredericksburg in Virginia. And this is a 3-day affair brought to you by United States Carom Association. We have participants from 5 different countries, having traveled from Sri Lanka, from India, and also from Singapore, Canada, UK, and obviously United States as well.
For the viewers, it appears the score is not updated. Well, it is now. So Chamil and Lenus are at 4. And Louis and Chamil are actually at 6, and JP and Lenus Paul are on 4, the board 4.
JP is on view right now, and he's quite a rhythm player, and he has, as you see, he has already pocketed 4 or 5 coins. He's going to make sure that none of the coins remain on his base or his side in relation to his partner. He has some pocketing to do here, which is I think he'll go the left to right there. though it's a miss, it's a pretty good miss in the sense that it protects the opponent from closing the board. Then
that was a very good shot from Louis there, ensuring not only pockets his coin but also making it the opponent coin difficult, hiding that behind that white there.
And what Louis just did was he continued to stay aggressive. He wanted to pocket both the black and the white together so that he has a chance to clean up the board. Now Lenus has to be careful as to how he's going to navigate his last two coins on the board, which are the two blacks in front of him. Quite a difficult position in one sense. He chooses wisely to protect and as well have a chance at his partner finishing the board. Chamil played an excellent defensive move there. Jayaprakash has to repeat the same.
Oh, that was a fantastic move by JP there, not touching the black. By touching the black, he will make it easier for the next player to defend the black coin. So it was a good move by JP.
Again, another uncanny miss from the Canadian champion, who's been world number 5 for a bit. That was an equivalent of a steal, a base steal, right, for Lenus.
Yes, and that's the third board in a row. Lenus and JP have won against Chamil and Louis. That's a fantastic display of carom, both offense and defense, by both JP and Lenus. And as I said, this is going to be a cracker of a game.
As you can see, anybody new watching, you would realize that the game is played at a very rapid pace. The turns come fast and in a hurry. So here is what we call a break. That is the start of one we call a board. There are 8 boards in a set. There are 3 sets which comprise a match in the case of a semi-final game where we have a 3-set game.
That was an unsuccessful break from JP there, but Louis doesn't have any open black coins to pocket, so he's, oh, there you go, he actually found a cannon there. That was a fantastic shot from Louis there.
What's he going to do now?
I think he's going to try to pocket that black to the goal there was, if that doesn't go in, he wanted to make sure he blocks that pocket for Lenus. So Lenus can only play to the other 3 pockets now. His top right pocket is blocked.
I think he's going to squeeze that through there, don't you think? That was a brilliant effort, folks. I don't have a way to show you a replay of that, but he was using the white near him to rub off against the black which was blocking him, and the striker was to hit the white behind the black, so the white behind the black would have a chance to go in. We will have a replay abilities perhaps in the next few games, definitely in the next iteration, Madhu, and that will help explain these things in slow motion as well.
Absolutely. Oh, that was a costly miss from JP. Now Louis has a few open coins.
If he does release the coin, the blacks on his right, I think he has a chance of closing his board out, especially trailing 6-10 after the 4th board. Again a miss.
Oh, I think that's an unusual miss from the champion.
Is it too late in the day? Is it because they've been playing for 10 hours continuously? Are those factors, Madhu, in your playing?
Certainly, that is a factor. And different players beat that factor in a different way. You know, a lot of people make sure they eat healthy all throughout the day, no sugar, so they can actually stay active as long as possible. So certainly at this time of the day, the fatigue does come in. That plays a part and impacts your game as well. But having said that, for some players, the longer they play, they find it easier for them to get back into their rhythm as well. So it really depends. That's a 2 straight turns by Chamil where he's defended a single coin. So that really goes to show how important this board is for Louis and Chamil to win. They've lost 3 boards in a row, so they really have to actually win back this board.
I would call this jousting for a better position, and that was a brilliant back shot. It's one of the most difficult ones to master that JP just executed. I think he has a play on the queen, but I thought he pocketed the what we call the follow for the queen prior to the queen. I think they're playing it all safe.
And again, JP tried there not to pocket that white coin. He tried to make sure he hits the frame on the left and goes to the other frame to block that coin. So
it worked.
It worked. It did impact Louis, and he missed that coin again.
And should JP not have played that defensive position, Louis had all of those coins unprotected in that pocket, and he could have stayed aggressive. Now, as you see, Lenus has 2 whites and the queen in the middle of the board. It's generally out of position for all players at this point. It'll be interesting to see what play Lenus decides to execute here.
I think you really have to be cautious here. Can't give an open board to Chamil.
That is a pretty decent defensive move, as well as releasing the white for his partner, and now some difficult choices for Chamil.
Oh, absolutely. Chamil doesn't have any coin in that cluster that he can pocket, makes it extremely difficult. So does he go for a defense again and make that white difficult for JP? Sure it does. It's an opportunity for JP. Does he go for the glory? He's going to open the queen and put pressure on Louis.
Again, that is very nicely executed, making sure Louis doesn't finish the board and get ahead by 4 points. At the same time, it was not good enough for Lenus to act on it. Both the queen and the follow, his white, are out of position. It's going to be interesting to watch. I think that's a very nice play by Louis.
That was a smart move by Louis there, by pushing the black, making that no proper access to that queen now. I think he's trying to do the double. Let's see the third pocket. No, I think he was going for the cut.
I think it's a very expensive mistake, but I guess he backed himself to execute on that. I think Chamil is going to pretty much clean up this board, and the Chamil-Louis pair is going to probably get 4 points from this. Patience is a virtue, don't you think, Madhu?
Agreed. I think, as you mentioned, I think Lenus went there. He kind of backed himself to clear that coin, and he wanted to actually get a big board and get ahead in the game. That was a fantastic finish by Chamil there.
And what you just saw, Madhu, Chamil just ate up 7 coins, including the queen, and that's the capability of each of the 4 players on view. But they were jousting for that position, not to give an inch away to either side, correct?
Absolutely. I think that board was a classic example of how to play the board and play with the partner. Chamil kind of used his 2 or 3 turns just defending single coin, not attempting any of his own coins, because the position was not in his favor. When the position was in favor and you knew the next coin is a defense for JP, he just went all out.
Hey, Louis to break on the 6th board of the first set. he makes one on his right side corner, top right side corner. I think it's a decent break, giving him some opportunities to work the board a little bit. As is the case with friction on the board and cushions, a break can yield very many different positions for the coins, don't you think, Mother?
Correct. And Louis got two more open wides. I suspect he's going to take both of them. No, he's leaving one. This is a crucial shot coming up. Well executed.
He does it with
Does he
so
ha-
much confidence. That is not an easy shot, folks. Watching on your screens. The typical rule or unsaid rule in doubles is partners. They would not play the common coins between the partners first. Um, they would try and play the ones that's open to them and not to their partner, and make sure the partner has a chance on his turn to potentially clean up the board. And the Louis strike has proved to be quite fruitful for the team.
He was just trying to open up the queen for Chamil. Unfortunately, the queen is kind of actually gone behind black. That gives us an open board for Lenus to play freely.
Um, that's one of the things that when you're trying to execute a softer shot, you need to be absolutely accurate on the board, else you risk what just happened, leaving it short on the table, on the board. Sorry.
Chamil is known for producing some amazing shots. So let's see if he tries to actually pocket this to the top left of his pocket. Oh, he did try that.
That was breathtaking. Should we have produced it on slow mo, you'd have appreciated the technicality of that shot. Think of it as, when you're playing on the pool table, it just had to take about 2 or 3 turns before it tried to reach the pocket. Once again, the cat and mouse starts. It's a sixth of 8 boards, potential 8 boards, and both the teams are tied up at 10 apiece.
That was a good defense from Louise, but unfortunately, black is in a position where he can pocket and release the queen as well, and which he does successfully.
Put in a safer position also, in relation to the opponents not having a good view of that.
Is he going to go for the finish, the queen first, or is he going to take the difficult black? He's going to take the pocket that and release the other black too.
He just missed it. It's slightly difficult based on the geometry of the position there. Now I don't think he can risk going for the queen. He's potentially going to put the white in a difficult position, and it lands up being a crazy situation for Chamil to navigate. Let's see what Chamil is thinking at this point.
That was a smart move by Chamil by pushing that black to JP. He's forcing JP to play that coin. If he doesn't play, then that coin becomes a defense for his partner.
Oh, that's extremely well done.
Well executed by JP, thereby blocking the path for the queen to Louis's left pocket.
So Louis up next. Louis has a couple of options. He can. That's what I thought is one of the options, which is defending the coin. What do you think Lenus's options are, Madhu?
I suspect Lenus is going to defend the queen or the black or the white. See which one he goes for. I think he decides to defend the queen.
The stakes are very high in the 2023 US Open Carom Championships being held here in Virginia.
That was very well executed shot.
Is he going to do the same thing, JP?
I think this time he'll try to pocket it.
How would he defend this? Or he has no chance of
I suspect
making.
he's going to push the black to force Louis to play a difficult queen, thereby putting pressure, or is he going to defend the white? I think he tried to defend the white coin there.
This requires a punch shot. Louis is going to. He missed it, but it's a safe miss in the sense that Lenus doesn't have a great position after he pockets his queen in terms of the
I'm
black
backing-
that he has to.
I'm backing
Follow.
Lenus to pocket this one. Only.
He's going down the line, or is he going to come 3 ways into the
No, it's just the top
third
right pocket.
pocket?
No, top right pocket. I'm backing him to pocket this. Oh,
That came in a little too fast, I guess,
the queen comes out.
and the geometry of it was quite difficult as well. Many of us as players make these shots at ease when we're playing in our garage, right? Not a penny less, not a penny more. Extremely crucial. Whoever wins this particular board will be in a better position to win the set.
That was well executed by JP. What is Louis going to do? He's going to just push the white and block the path.
Block both, I guess. He does an excellent job
Yeah.
of it. Again, based on your skills, one could go queen into the cushion, push the white away, and slide it through that,
He's gonna-
or defend, and defends it as. So on Chamil's turn, he would have to come on the way back with the striker. That's what he's trying to do now. We call it rebound. Even when he missed it, it's not going to hurt them that much because it's an even more difficult effort for JP, is it not, to finish?
I think it'll be interesting to see what choice JP makes here. Is he going to just push the black to Lenus's frame, or is he going to actually pull the white back? He
It
went
opens
for
it
a
up.
finish there.
This
Not
requires
sure that was the right attempt.
this requires a well executed punch.
I think Louis had to go for that. Black is in a difficult position for Lenus, so it was a fair play by Louis to go for the finish.
Should it have been any other position in the earlier parts of the morning, I would assume Lenus would have gone for that with the white getting out of the way. Such a crucial board, this.
Oh, that was unlucky for Chamil. That was a very good attempt.
JP has a good chance to complete this and get 4 points for his team, and he does just that. Bravo.
Well played. That was a good hustle there from both the teams. JP and Lenus on top. The score is 14 to JP and Lenus and 10 to Louis and Chamil. We are going to
With 2 boards to go,
two
right?
boards
Madhu?
to go, so we're going to actually, this is going to be the 7th open. Lenus to break. It is their break. It's in Carom, when we talk about the break, it's a bit like tennis. You're expected to win the
Yes.
board where when you have your own break, because the coin spreads, you have an extra turn. So this is going to be another crucial board. I anticipate a tussle on this board too, to make sure that JP and Lenus, they want to continue to maintain the lead. And I'm sure Paul, Lenus, Louis and Chamil might have other ideas. Let's see how this board goes. That was a successful break from Lenus.
Typically, what are they trying to do on a break, Madhu? As a player, there's so many ways you could break. You could break very hard with all the coins spreading out. What is going on in the player's head?
Uh, I think most players have their own method. Typically, what they try to do is they try to make sure they pocket at least one coin, one white, and then they want to spread the whites and make sure the other white come closer to the pocket. When a coin is closer to the pocket, we call it in Kerem an idea coin because that helps us release other coins and you create position if you have a coin at the mouth of the pocket. The goal is to pocket as many coins as you can, and when you do the break, if you can pocket the queen, you take the queen as well, and then make sure if you don't have the finish, you make it easy for your partner to finish in his turn. That's typically what they try to do during break.
Some of viewers, maybe first timers or enthusiastic folks who just turn on to this part of the telecast. When you make all of those whites, that when you start, what is it called?
Good question, Murli. I think in Kerem we have, it's a bit like how we do if you're used to a bowling and you do a strike. Similarly, if one does a break, pockets all 9 whites along with the queen, so that a pocketing total of 10 coins. We call that a slam, a white slam. And if that player misses after the break, misses one of the whites, and the next player plays the black, and the player pockets all blacks, and the queen is still on the board and pockets a queen as well, and then we call that a black slam. So basically, in the first turn, you wipe out the board, you pocket all your coins. That's the term we use in Kerem world. We call it a slam. It's not easy, but there are some players, certainly in the semifinals group, each one of them are capable of hitting a slam at any time. But it's not as easy as it looks when they do execute it.
Thank you for that, Madhu. It was very interesting while we were talking about what constitutes a slam. I thought JP played a wonderful hand there. Just missed the follow for the queen. Very difficult shot, albeit, but the way he created the opening for the queen was interesting. Louis looks like he wants to stay aggressive. Lenus to play a few out of position coins. It'll be interesting to see what Lenus decides to do. And he's contemplating just that.
I think that was a good
Safety
defensive
first.
move by Lenus. He didn't want to leave the queen open for Chamil. As I mentioned, this is a 7th break, and it's a very crucial break for both teams. So we have one black and a queen left. What is Chamil going to do? Is he going to go for the glory and go attempt a finish, or is he going to defend? Oh, I think he tried to push that black and block the path for the queen for JP. Unfortunately, he missed it. Now JP has all open coins.
It is slightly tricky, some of those coins for JP. I think instead of going for the glory, he would. That was interesting.
Well
that is what,
played by JP under pressure.
I still think the cover, the follow is pretty difficult at this stage in the game, especially.
It's going to be the tricky and crucial shot.
There were too many obstacles in the way as sort of a steeplechase on the board. Now this absolutely opens it up for Louis to finish up this board. Unless nerves come into the picture, I think
there's some disturbance in the audience there. The players want to make sure they're absolutely focused. No disturbance when they're playing crucial coins. Oh, that's a costly miss by Louis. That was a big board had he finished from that position.
Lenus does have a finish here. Again, given the position, I think he would pocket this as a fairly straight one. In these last two coins right now would be slightly out of position. I think he's going to bring that white coin on his left back to that pocket, in a sense trying to block it, block the black, but I think Chamil is good enough to make it. Wow, that was a big miss again.
That was an uncanny miss from Chamil. You would expect to pocket that any time of the day or night.
It's a big swing for both the teams at this point. Should JP and Lenus win, they get 4 points, go to 18 and 10 with the last board to go. Quite a steep climb that.
Yeah, I think this is what is JP going to do. Oh, I think JP
He
did a
yielded.
smart move. He just let his turn pass and asked Louis to play. Oh, what a shot that by Louis, defending that white from that position.
And should Chamil, Louis combine to win this board, they will bridge the gap by 1 point, which is going to be a 14-11 situation with the last board to go. That was a bravado shot. It's quite difficult. They would make it perhaps 8 out of 10 times, but it also provided a cushion, or rather a convenience for JP should he miss the angle, and that's exactly what happened. He took the support, as we call it,
Yeah, I
to
think
finish up that, and now it's going to be pretty steep for Chamil and Louis to come back on this set, for sure. Again, we're not going to rule out anything. As you were saying, they're all capable of the slam thing, and perhaps more in singles than in doubles.
I think you can anticipate now on this board. I expect Chamil, and if Louis gets a turn, they're going to go all out. They are 8 points behind, so they need 9 points to win the first set. So expect some fireworks in this turn from both players.
It's going to be extreme craftiness, and that's what you saw. A little more aggressive positioning. We're going to release the other white, which is at a wrong place.
On the other hand, when JP gets a turn, he's going to try to pocket as many blacks as he can. He needs to pocket at minimum 4 blacks to make sure the game is safe. That's a clever move by Chamil there, pushing that white, the red behind the white.
So we're at a count of 4 blacks for the JP Lenus team to make sure he just played on 1. That's 2 blacks for you. He still has 2 more open, but it's very crucial.
Oh, that's
a mistake.
Unlucky there. So
He's
if
a
Louis
finish.
finishes from this position now, they're going to take the first set. So I expect Louis in this turn, he's going to go all out.
And he does have most of it conveniently placed. Last 2 to go, and this is a steal from Louis and Chamil in the making.
Here comes the crucial shot. Shot for the first game. Oh, there you go.
That is a brilliantly done first set by Louis and Chamil. It was full of nerves from JP and Lenus. It was pretty clear all you needed to do was make sure Louis doesn't finish. And I guess that's what he was thinking about. Or he could have just finished the 2 blacks on the left-hand
I
side.
think if I just look at what the conversation there, if I can actually follow it from here from the commentary box, I guess that was what Lenus was indicating, for him to pocket the open coins to JP's top left pocket. Even if he misses, it was going to block the 2 coins that Louis eventually played, the 2 whites there. By pocketing those, it also puts pressure on Louis. So he just tried to actually do that on the pocket, on the right hand side of the pocket, by blocking the black with the queen, where the queen was. but I think that was unsuccessful. Exactly, opened the board. That's a really
That's a big steal, yeah.
big steal from Louis and Chamil. They just peaked at the right time, at the right turn, to change the course of the first game of this three-setter.
But honestly, Madhu, the pair of Chamil Cooray from Sri Lanka and Louis Fernandes from Canada are the top seeds for the tournament in many ways than one, is it not?
Oh, no doubt about that, Murli. But having said that, Lenus, don't write him off. He's won youth championship in India singles, and twice he's won doubles. He's Singapore national champion. He lives in Singapore now, and he's also world number 5 at the moment. So he is a fascinating player to watch. And JP is upcoming. Plus he's a BACA champion. So BACA is like, the Bay Area KM Association. We have a monthly tournaments. JP has won that countless number of times. When he's in flow, JP is excellent to watch in terms of how he pockets the coins, and it's silk smooth.
Yep. So having said that, where I was going with that comment about being top seeds for the tournament is a world-class closure on set number 1 by Louis. By no means easy. He played 6 coins rapidly, one after the other, making it look easy for you and me. But we as players know how difficult that must have been, and that moment where they were down 8 points at the same time, I think that helped them be aggressive as well.
Absolutely. And I also anticipate in the second set, I anticipate Chamil and Louis to be a lot more aggressive. They don't want to give a sniff to Lenus and JP in this set, so we can anticipate some aggressive play, and there is one such example there from Chamil. Now he's going to actually try to take the white onto the top left. Now he's going for the other one.
In relative terms, it's player strengths and weaknesses as well. All players do some homework about who plays after them and so on in the doubles tournament, don't you think?
That's correct, Murli. Players do discuss before the game starts whether they want to be seated, who they want to be seated next. So there's all sorts of strategies involved. Who wants to play? Who's going to be aggressor? Who's going to be the defensive player? So players have all of those tricks of the trade. When they start the seating position before when they win the toss.
My sense, Madhu, is that they're trying to make sure Lenus doesn't have great positions. And I would guess that both Chamil and Louis would have sensed that Lenus is a stronger player at this point, given how he performed in set number 1. And they would make more efforts to make sure it is JP who beats them and not Lenus.
Correct. And in that context, I anticipate, particularly in the second set here, for Chamil to be really aggressive and go for the kill every time he gets an opportunity.
Because JP goes after him.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
But don't underestimate JP. He's a fascinating player. If you have open coins on the board, he certainly has the capacity to pocket all of them. It doesn't really matter if it's 8, 9, or even including 10, including queen. JP has the capability to pocket that consistently.
That was.
I think that was a good defense. I think that was a queen that Chamil pushed that to Lewis's frame.
That makes sure the pressure is back on JP, right? In the sense of having to both pocket those coins which are available to him.
Yeah, JP was backing on. Louis doesn't have a cover, but he's going to use a queen to open the cover for him. Oh, unfortunately, that didn't go as planned.
Should the queen have been much below, it would have been possible. It was a little higher up on the board for him.
Yeah.
So now the queen is back in the center. I watched Lenus most of the day today in some of the games. In fact, me and my partner happened to play Lenus and JP. They were in brutal form against us. What? Let me speak after this shot. As you said, Chamil is staying extremely aggressive. And to prove your point, that as you said, they're not wanting to give a quarter away.
Absolutely. They don't want to give a sniff. They knew the first set. They got lucky. It could have gone either way. In fact, for most of the set, JP and Lenus were leading. They came from behind to win the first set. Now they're leading 5-0 on the second set, second break, and Lenus to open. The next two boards are going to be very crucial for Lenus and JP. They need to get back, and they need to get back onto the scoreboard. Otherwise, it's going to create a lot of pressure, and that will make Chamil and Louis to be even more aggressive. So it's very crucial this break and probably the next break as well. It's very important for JP and Lenus to be on the scoreboard.
Again, to remind our viewers, what you're watching is the semifinals of the 2023 US Open Carom Championships being conducted in Virginia this weekend. There were 64 participating teams, and the last four are playing the semifinals games right now. It's been a hectic marathon day. The game started at around 9:30 this morning, and we're already at 9:30 in the evening. So it's been about 12 hours of play. A few breaks here and there, but that does take its toll.
It does take a lot out of you playing these games. Carom is a very intense game. No, for the viewers, it doesn't appear that way when you're watching. But for the players, you absolutely have to focus and be present 100% of the time for every turn and keep an eye on what the other players are doing, how they're playing, what position they're creating, where they're moving the coins, how they're moving, how the coins are being pocketed. It's all gets you an opportunity to read the game and read your opponent as well.
That was a magnificent shot by Lenus, making sure he cleared the way for white, which is behind the black. So it's all creating the positions. It's pretty much akin to when you see a nice ball player, pool ball, billiards or pool player, creating those positions on the cue ball or where the next ball is going to be on the pool table.
I think I anticipate Lenus is seeing a finish here. This is going to be the crucial shot.
Do you think that was done on purpose?
I thought he was attempting to pocket that.
That was a shot, one shot too many, giving him that room for JP to squeeze in.
Okay, JP needs a cover now.
I think he's going to do the cannon.
The cannon, yeah. It's well executed.
He still doesn't have a finish unless he goes absolutely aggressive. The team is down 0-5. Lenus does have a finish, so whatever Louis does, he needs to make sure that either he finishes with them getting 2 points,
think looking at the position, Louis is going to go for the finish now.
Is he going to play the touch rebound, or is he going to simply
No,
cut the
simple pocket that and pocket this to.
Is the white coming down to the middle, Madhu, or is he going to cut that black
I
into
thought he was
his left
pocketing
pocket?
to his left pocket, but he is trying to cannon this because the black is going to come back and defend. I'm sorry, the white. So that was a fantastic effort. What he was trying there is not just try to pocket his black, but he was also ensuring the white lands in a difficult position for Lenus. So that's a fantastic
Close out.
display by Louis there. So they get 1 point. They get 2 points. They were 5. They get 2 points, so they have got 7 points on the board. JP and Lenus, you get to open their account, and crucial third opening coming up.
This is Chamil Cooray. I don't know whether I'm imagining this. It looks like Chamil is playing faster.
That's a good observation, Murli. I sense the same as well, having watched his game typically on a YouTube, or even been fortunate to watch it a couple of times live. It does appear that he looks rushed.
That's a nicely executed shot, very difficult to master. Some of us keep trying that. We do succeed, but not at the rate that Louis succeeds. That requires a lot of practice and patience as well.
That was well done by Louis there, just moving the black from the mouth of the pocket, thereby opening the pocket for his partner.
I do sense that Lenus has a seemingly good position on the blacks. Not sure Louis' defense is going to work this time. And as we all know, we've been saying it so many times, Lenus is a wonderful stroke maker. He still has a striker and a couple of more shots to go, but I think he has to be conservative at this point.
I think this is going to be the crucial turn now.
You're expecting him to go all out on this?
No, I think
it's positioning again. They're trying to make sure that they get on the board. Scoreboard this time. They're already on the board.
That was a well executed cannon from Chamil.
So he does have a play on the queen white cannon. I think is going to either play it or defend it. He decides to defend it. I think that would not have been pocketed. It would come out. And I thought that is very clever too. It stops two of the black coins from seeing the whole pocket.
I think it's a very difficult position now for JP. That's well executed by JP. He just needs to be careful. Louis has a finish on his next turn. I think he's trying to actually pocket the cover for the queen. Unfortunately, that didn't go through. The queen comes out into the middle. The referees keep ensuring it's in dead center, and the play resumes.
I think, I did expect Louis to push that black down and make it more difficult for Lenus. Now it gives him room and space for him to operate more freely. That is interesting. I thought he would pocket the other white. The queen, little room to squeeze there. That's what I was expecting. I thought the queen should be this side, and he couldn't go this side because he didn't pocket the white there.
That's a costly miss from Louis there.
Is that
Kind
what
of
we keep?
opens up the board now.
Is this what we call the selection mistake instead of pocketing mistake?
I don't know, Murali. I don't know if it's a mistake. I think Louis backed himself to pocket that, and the reason I think he played the other white, he didn't play the one that's on the board now, is because that white is blocked for his partner as well, if in case he gets a turn. That's my take on it.
Another crucial nervous mistake. And Chamil eats it up. So that's 2 points more to the team of Chamil and Louis. That takes them to 9 points. After the third board, it's going to get increasingly a difficult mountain to climb for Lenus and JP.
Yeah, it's fascinating how the mind games start to play. Once you get into the 4th board time zone and you actually haven't scored, it starts to play on your mind, and in the same time the opponent feels they have an upper hand, and as they say, the fortune favors the brave, and they will be a lot more aggressive in their approach. Let's see the 4th board now. JP has got few open coins, absolutely crucial they take this board. That's well executed by JP there.
JP does have what we call a bomb shot, the one on his left hand bottom of the screen, the white. I thought he could have opened up a whole bunch of coins there to just get on the board by using the bomb shot, but I think he missed the one which he was trying, slightly difficult wrong pair.
I think he played that shot, Murali. If you ask me, having played with JP for a while, I think he was trying to block that pocket for Louis, as opposed to trying to pocket that. And he didn't want to play that bong shot to release the striker because he could not control
the outcome. An interesting point. It looks like every turn for all the 4 players seems to be an Herculean effort to manage pocketing their coins, to get ahead on the board, and making sure the opponent doesn't finish when they miss. So insurance is in play. That is considered definitely as a big miss.
Lenus there was going for the kill there. If they had that coin gone in, he certainly had a possible finish from that position.
We refer to something called the bomb shot. It was just about used unsuccessfully by Chamil to open up a lot of his coins. That does provide JP an opportunity for a better board position. I think it will be crucial to free up that white coin on his partner's base. That's what JP is capable of. Is that the negative cut?
That was a fantastic executed. He not only pocketed the white coin, but he also ended up freeing up that other white, and he's got an easy cover. I suspect he's going to go for the double touch now to go for the kill. Tough luck.
Nicely done though.
By JP.
Louis does have a good look that's what pressure does.
That's
now
a costly miss by
that put Lenus and JP on the board by a whole bunch of coins.
JP was a winner there. He played an absolute brilliant turn there to create that pressure for Louis, and Lenus did the rest. They're finally on the board in a big way. Now they're leading by 2 points.
It's a risk-reward thing in terms of when you decide to go for a difficult coin for the finish or not, right? With so many coins on the board, I think JP did the wise thing by staying aggressive and creating those positions.
Yeah,
Mm.
at that point in time, JP had to go for it because the position of the blacks for Louis was not easy. So he knew his partner would get a turn even if he missed. So all he had to make sure is to make sure he doesn't put the white in a position where it becomes difficult for his partner, which was not. It created pressure for Louis.
And again, the pressure that you're talking about, JP created, made Louis miss the strike, which is not happening 99 times out of 100.
It's quite unusual for Louis to miss that that strike on. Anyway, we are on board fine now. It's good for us, for all the viewers, that JP and Lenus are on the scoreboard and they're leading. Oh, what a fantastic cut that by Lenus. It's too late.
What?
That was quite unusual for Louis to miss that easy cover for the queen. Now the queen comes back onto the center. If the center is occupied by other coins, what the referee does is he tries to actually place that queen in the center as much as possible. As much as the red position center is open, he'll try to cover that.
Again, folks, you're watching the semi-finals of the 2023 U.S. Open Carom Championships. This is being held in Virginia, United States of America. It's going to be a 3-day affair, and you're after a day-long set of matches between 148 players. We're down to the top four. We are watching the first semi-final between Louis Fernandes of Canada and his partner, who happens to be Chamil Cooray from Sri Lanka, and they're playing Jayaprakash from California and Lenus from Singapore. All these are very highly accomplished and talented players. It's a treat to watch them live. Goosebumps time. Okay. So it's an interesting position again, given that they're 9 and 11. They can't be they can't be over aggressive. The queen is out of position for Chamil.
Oh, I think it's a smart move. What Chamil did there is just push the white onto the path of the queen, so the JP doesn't have access to the queen. Now it's interesting to see what JP does.
What are his options at this point?
I think The other coin, actually, the other white is actually at the mouth of the pocket. I suspect he's going to make that. He's going to defend that, push that out to the closer to the frame. There it is. Thereby, now he's ensuring a partner gets a turn, even if they're willing to sacrifice a red if they have to. They want to win the board.
He's pretty good at cleaning up his base coins. Is that what they say? The ones which are closer to you,
Correct.
behind the strike zone. That was very confidently done by Louis, giving him and his partner a chance to go up 4.
That's a fantastic defense there by Lenus there, putting that white behind the black. Now interesting to see what. Very good. I think what Chamil tried to do there is pull the black closer to the white, but I think it fell short by a few inches now. Now JP has. Oh, that's unusual. JP is fairly good pocketing to his right pocket with thumbing. Uncanny miss from JP there.
They go up by 4. Cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot of prize money in store for the winners of the various categories and groups. It's prestigious. We have participants from almost 30 states in the United States. That is coming from far and wide to participate in the US Nationals or US Open Championships.
Okay, the crucial 6th Open coming up. This break is absolutely critical for Lenus and JP.
It's just that with 2 more boards to go after this, if you're able to create a separation in the scores, you get ahead by 5, by 8, then you're generally in a good position to apply additional pressure on the opponent, correct?
Correct, absolutely. I think that's what Lenus and JP will be aiming for. It's a good position for them. Chamil has a couple of open coins that he'll try to pocket. They're absolutely going to fight for the queen, and this board looks like JP might have access to queen to his top left pocket. Is he going to attempt that? No, guess not yet. That's well done by JP there.
But that does leave him out in the cold without a cover on the queen, right? Should he?
I suspect queen may not be easy. That's why he didn't go for it.
That was a brilliant stroke by JP. He pocketed both the defense coin.
That's fantastic. Queen is going. I think that's a fantastic display of coin selection by JP there. Delaying the risk, leaving the queen until he was absolutely clearing all the other open coins before attempting the queen. Very well executed by JP there.
That's extremely well done, don't you think, Madhu? Giving Lenus a great option, a great look into finishing the board, trying to get ahead there.
I think this is going to put a lot of pressure now on Louis. He has to make sure here his partner gets a turn. Though he's got open coins, they're not in an easy position.
That was nicely done. He did release his black. I think he's creating positions to finish up this board that would put his team. That's a lovely shot. He's being very measured in the way he's going about this board. Would you still think he's going to go for it, or he's going to make sure Lenus doesn't finish?
No, I think there's a very smart move. I think it's a very skillful play by Louis there, pocketing all the open coins. And then what he did there, he tried to defend that white that was closer to Lenus, because he could use that coin to pocket that and release the other difficult white.
folks watching this see how crucial this has been. Lenus decides to keep it open for JP and making sure Chamil has an extremely difficult position for him to make anything out of it. And Chamil in turn, it's a nice interplay between those two, the white and the black there. It's not in a good position for any of the four players. It typically doesn't happen that way, does it?
What a fascinating shot there by JP. That was not an easy connection.
Sign of nerves, would you say, after executing such a wonderful shot, missing out on
I,
a relatively straight coin?
I think what happens for a lot of players when you do execute a very difficult shot, you get excited and typically rush for the next shot, and that I suspect that's what may have caused JP to miss that easy straight coin. But back live now. Lenus now has a decision to make. Is he going to defend or is he going to go? I think it looks like he's defending.
It's
That was a
nicely
wonderful
done.
defense there.
Chamil has to reciprocate, I guess.
Again, they've got the JP and Lenus have got the queen, so Louise and Chamil, they're desperate to make sure they win the board. That's very well executed by JP. Those coins that are actually closer to the frame, those are not easy to defend.
And Louis cannot easily defend the white in the place that the white exists, so he would be going for the black. He
It's
pocketed.
a good point.
That's nicely done. That's smooth as silk. That's what Louis is made of. Again, another steal, I would say. It was pretty much Lenus's board. JP had it under control after playing a beautiful shot. Again, as you said, the rush, the adrenaline kicking in, making him miss the other one. Otherwise, he would have finished the board.
I think if he not missed that easy white at the time, he would have gone for the finish at that point.
Now it becomes a question of who will get this done, who is going to hold nerves. Last two boards to go. They want to protect the score.
Question is, Murali, are you a betting man?
Interesting one. Speaking about that, USCA has made great strides at offering up the game to the betting community. We are working with the Prime League Network. We have done some promos for the game. I think Karam is in good hands at this point in time.
Oh, I think that's a fantastic point. USCA, United States Carom Association, is doing a lot of work to promote the game, to make it more accessible. And this is one example what Murali is sharing there, their partnership with PNL. We had an event earlier in the week so that we can have a shorter version of the game that's friendly to the viewers.
I think both teams are focused on ensuring that the other team doesn't finish on the turn. They're keeping it relatively straightforward. We call it insurance many a time. When you are protected, then you go aggressive. The score is very close. Nobody has a particular big advantage. It all boils down to how board positioning is handled.
That's very unfortunate for Lenus for that coin to stop at the mouth of the pocket. Had he gone, he had access to that pocket.
That was a miss on the queen. On the seventh
but
board.
It's not a JP doesn't have an easy access to the queen. Oh, well played there, JP. That those coins are not easy to pocket when the striker has to travel that far.
Why would you go for a slightly more complicated coin when you have one on the mouth? Madhu, what are your thoughts?
I think at this level, you expect you back yourself to pocket those straight coins, and JP probably left that coin at the mouth of the pocket to one, it blocks that coin for any player, though there doesn't look like it's blocking any coin at this point in time.
Is that an error in judgment?
But you can use that coin to create other positions when you have coins that close to the mouth of the pocket. What a fabulous shot there by Luis. Now, if I
Is Louis going to take the queen?
looks like he's going for it.
That is smooth.
What a shot that is under pressure.
He does have a chance at finishing this. I think he's going the safer route. He would go with the white on his base, correct?
I think he's thinking, should he go for the finish or give a finish to his partner? It looks like he's giving a finish to his partner.
That's
what a shot that is.
That was a mind-blowing execution.
That was some exhibition by the champion.
Just lives it a little short. Unlucky, I would say, rather than nerves. At this point, the shot he just played prior to that is such a rare gem. Do you think Lenus is going to be able to steal?
I think he'll try. It's not beyond him.
Because he cannot stop the white. There's no good defensive play on the white.
Correct.
I think his problems are the one on his right towards his pocket, and the one in the base that is right opposite from where he's playing. Madhu?
The question is, the black that is closest to his baseline, is he going to pocket that straight, or is he going to do the okay, he's trying to glance that, bring that closer to him to see if he gets, that becomes an idea coin. It did. Now, while pocketing that black, he's going to make that other difficult black. He'll try to make that easy. Let's see if he's successful in execution.
That requires great poise, and that's a very high level of skills you're watching, viewers.
What a composure on display by Lenus there to pocket those many coins under pressure. Oh, that's tough luck. Nevertheless, well played by Lenus.
Thanks to Louis' shot making abilities, the team of Louis and Chamil are now up by 7 points with just one more board to go.
I was just thinking there, let's see now if JP and Lenus can do what Chamil and Louis did to them in set 1.
Payback in kind?
Payback time. Let's see if they're able to. And again, I wouldn't put it past them. They certainly are capable. They both are playing well. JP needs a really good break here, pocket a few coins, and then ensure Louis doesn't have too many open coins, and then hopefully that will give Lenus a position where he can actually go for the kill. If Chamil gets a turn, that means they would pocket. So they need 9 points to win the game. So this needs to be really absolutely a very successful break, and he needs to pocket as many coins as he can.
I can't help think. I think JP and Lenus are in a place to do exactly what Louis and Chamil did in the first set, last board. They took it away.
Yeah, unfortunately, JP had a unsuccessful break there. However, looks like doesn't have any position for Louis. That creates an opportunity now for Lenus there. He does have few open coins. The position is not easy, but he's going to be aggressive, and he needs to be aggressive given the scorecard, and this is the last board.
And given the last hand he played on the previous board, I think he should be feeling good in terms of his ability to execute on this. he did create some spaces there for him to operate on the coins which are on his left of the board. But he does have some very difficult positions, and he needs 8 points, which is generally speaking the queen pocketed by the team, and with 5 more coins on the opponent's coins on the board, that would give them 8 points for them to be able to win the second set. And that popped out.
That was unlucky. Unlucky. He did have a chance there, but I think it's going to be very difficult from this position. I expect Chamil to pocket as many. Oh,
Will JP be able to do it? Is the queen is right open?
Crucial miss by Chamil at that stage.
JP does have a look into this. He
JP
needs to
is
hold.
good,
He needs to hold his nerve.
I think he needs to pocket this white on the left hand side of the frame. Yeah, that's the one, because that's difficult for his partners. So he's taken that.
You're watching the Maverick in action. That's not an easy shot, but if he should have made it, he would have felt good enough to go all the way. Louis needs to pocket at least 3 coins.
Interesting to watch. Louis doesn't have that many open coins now. He's going to make sure his partner gets a turn,
and Lenus doesn't finish. That's a good try, but Lenus has multiple shots to open that up.
I'm backing Lenus to finish from this position now and steal this game.
And head into a third set cliffhanger.
I certainly would enjoy that, and I assume so are the viewers here. Oh,
that is unfortunate for the team of Lenus.
Unlucky. That is unlucky.
I'm sure Chamil will not allow the comeback. He has to pocket at least 2 more. But everything is having a great look. All the blacks are unshielded. They still have a good chance to go with this.
One more shot at this.
JP
one
has
more
to go
shot
for
at
it.
this. You can see the nerves kicking in there. Oh,
that is an awesome.
What a game. What a game. There certainly was a steal there by JP and Lenus to come back from behind to win that final board. For our viewers, we're going to take a short 5-minute break, and then we'll come back online for the final set. Don't go anywhere.
Just a couple of words before we sign off for a few minutes. It's break time for the players. They get a 5-minute break between sets 2 and 3. Call it a bio break or whatever. But what a match we witnessed. It is amazing, and that is why this is world-class carom. Guys, hang on to your hats. We'll be back soon.
Welcome back to all our viewers. You're witnessing the third and the final set of the semifinals game between Lewis and Chamil versus JP and Lenus Paul. What a cracking two sets we've had. I hope the third set leads to expectations and goes all the way to the final board. Certainly, we in the commentary box are going to enjoy it, and I'm certain our viewers are going to enjoy a tight game as well. For our viewers here to explain, when you're playing the third and the final set, typically you change sides, you rotate anti-clockwise, everyone moves. When either 4 boards are finished or you're over one of the teams have 13 or more points, whichever is earlier. The reason we do that is after 2 sets, when you come to the third set, to make sure the playing field, because each side might have a slope, to ensure all the players have equal advantage or lack of it. To ensure consistency and a fair play, you change sides after 4 boards on the final and the deciding set. Looks like Lenus is going to break here. Guess we're all set. Lenus is going to ask for the permission of the umpires to break. And here we go, the final set.
Hey Madhu, during the break I was watching the US Open, the other US Open. Alcaraz is on a comeback trail after losing the first 2 sets to Medvedev. And now we're working on making the telecast a little more productive for you. Just like Alcaraz came back to win the third set 6-1 after losing the first 2, we have Lenus and JP on a comeback trail in the second set. Once again, to make sure that you all understand that this is the third set of the semifinals of the 2023 US Open Carom Championship being held here in Virginia. This is the semifinals between Louis Fernandes and Chamil Cooray on one side, playing the team of Jayaprakash and Lenus from Singapore. Lenus has a good board position. That was a tricky position there to make that pair, right?
Correct. I don't think he had a straight cannon there. He had to slice that the black that was behind the white. It's always a tricky shot. It typically hits the frame.
Was it because the black and the white were too close to each other? Caution is definitely in the air.
I suspect you will see in this third and final set players being a lot more cautious in their approach and ensure they don't take any unnecessary risk.
Did Louis miss that?
It did. I think it stopped at the mouth of the pocket there. Lenus will try to cannon those two wides.
It was executed pretty well, I thought. What are Lenus's options at this point?
I think he's trying to play the two wides that are actually at the frame, JP's frame. Oh no, he was trying to actually play the other. I misread that.
That is quite clever, I thought, from Chamil. Is JP going to be
not
able
sure
to
that
release
was
the black?
it was intended, just sensing the reaction of Chamil there. That's another miss by JP there. Louis has a finish here.
He would release the queen, I thought, from there, but I guess
I
he
guess
can go the other way around.
Correct. Everything is going to his. This is what I was referring to earlier on about the slope. That comes into play when you try to play the coins delicately.
I'm not too sure whether it was the slope there or the battle of nerves going on. Chamil does not have a finish at this point. How would he? I think JP is going after Chamil, and JP does have a finish. So Chamil needs to make sure that's a miss. Yeah. JP does have a finish at this point, Madhu.
Yeah, he does. He's got some couple of tricky coins to pocket. He's usually good. He's trying to pocket and defend that black, well executed by JP there.
But I thought it blocks him from scoring on the queen. A little, perhaps too much force on the previous shot.
When you play that kind of a shot, it's very, very tough to control the position at which the black was going to land. His intent was for the black to land closer to the Chamil's frame, but unfortunately it came out and blocked the path for the queen.
I do see that Louis may go in for a finish here. Let's watch.
The position is a bit tricky now to go for the finish. He doesn't have access to queen.
On hindsight, that miss by JP is going to be beneficial for the team. That was extremely difficult. Black pocketed there. That was an awesome third pocket by Louis.
Third pocket.
That was a marvelous finish by the champ, who has represented Canada in many World Cup, in many international game.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting observation there, Murli, is when Louis tried to pocket that queen, what we call the third pocket, hit the red onto the frame, then it goes into the pocket. He tried to hit it slightly harder than you normally would see Louis hitting. The intent there was, if in case he was off direction, it was going to hit the frame and make it difficult for Lenus to get to the queen. So hence, he played that slightly with more pace than otherwise he normally would. That's an interesting observation.
But that puts them in a good, nice first board win position in the last set. You're watching a best of three of the semifinals of the doubles 2023 US Open Carom Championship. The second board will be started off by Chamil. Here we go. It's a good break. Typically, Madhu, in your experience, you would see less slams scored in the doubles game in relation to the singles game, is it not?
That's accurate, Murali. What happens is when you're playing doubles, you kind of actually what we call the front break. You hit the rack directly. That means coin spreads and move further away from you. That makes it much more harder. Whereas in singles, what we do is reverse break, which is you're pulling the coins towards you. That makes it slightly easier. I wouldn't say it's easy. Otherwise, I would do it day in and day out, and I certainly can't do it to save my life. So hence, you'll see a lot more slams scored in the doubles game in the singles game than what you would see in a singles game.
Sometimes it is too counterproductive when players play extremely cautiously. Lenus is a very good pocketer. He would finish the ones he has to pocket and then save the queen because he doesn't have a play on the queen, and Chamil has a free hand there. Now he's taken care of most of what we call straight coins, and Lenus is trying to take that white out of that equation and replaces it with the black, and he executes on cue.
That's very well executed shot, Murali, as you said, by Lenus there.
What's JP going to do? The queen is safe in relation to what Louis could do, but that's an uncharacteristic miss by JP. I would say it's nerves. It's the high cost of a semi-final game.
You certainly see, you expect to see a lot more of such misses in the third and the deciding set, because the heart will be pumping blood, and every stroke.
Yeah,
as I was saying,
that went three ways. JP missed, and so did Louis, and so did Lenus, and giving Chamil the opening to close his board out. He releases the tough positions that those two whites were in, and now it gives him a free hand to score on this white.
Well
makes it look so easy. It's one of the toughest shots, and we'll have to watch what he does with the last coin. Miss again. That's second time in a row. Surely the heart rate must have been pretty high while trying to play that. Louis is going to third pocket on the other direction in relation to the previous board. It pops out, giving Lenus a little bit of leeway to protect. Another uncharacteristic miss may prove to be costly. Depends on how well Chamil is going to be able to execute this. If he's going to be playing in the front or to another third pocket. That he made it look so easy. That was so casually done. Bravo! That gives them 8 points, if I'm not mistaken. And that would give them 13 just in 2 boards. And
correct. And as I was explaining at the beginning of this final and deciding set, now that Chamil and Louis have scored 13 points, even though we haven't reached the 4 boards, the players change position. Let's see if this brings any luck to Lenus and JP, and they can get off the mark.
I'm sure you mentioned to the viewers that say the 4 boards are 13 points, whichever is earlier gets them to move or rotate one time, so everybody has the same standard playing conditions, all 4 players.
Correct.
In this crucial third set.
That's correct, Murali.
JP has a strike now. It's board number 3. We are heading into looks like another cliffhanger. Each team is up by a few points, and then the other team catches back.
And as I keep saying all night, this is a crucial board. I guess every board is crucial, but certainly this one is for JP and Lenus, as it is their break. They need to get back onto the scoreboard in the third and the deciding set.
JP looks pretty fluent in his shot making at this point. He would try and release the white and the queen in the middle. He gently nudged the black out of the way, trying to create room for the shot. I think that's the right move in one sense, making sure Louis doesn't have too many coins to work with. Louis is what we would generally call out of position, though there are many black coins on the board. He doesn't have anything that he can potentially pocket. He decides to defend, which is a wise move given the circumstance. Lenus has to think hard. So how would you like to play this? There's a white on his base, so to play that, he needs to clear. He decides to play the center black coin on his white coin on his base.
He didn't want to pocket this other white on his left, hence, because that is blocking that pocket for Chamil. That's
the strokes that you're watching Chamil play is heavily practiced on those strokes. And it makes it look so easy. What he did here was he took out those whites in the mouth.
I guess he just wanted to clear that pocket and hoping those coins would end up in a difficult position. Otherwise, JP would pocket those two coins easily. Having said that, those coins have ended up in a position where JP can still pocket.
This will be a crucial play. How JP is able to play for his partner at this point, since he doesn't have a finish.
The challenge here is he has to open the cluster. He has to open the cluster of his partner without making it easy for Louis. Unfortunately, the queen has come out.
Louis pockets the queen, has many easy follows. Does it without much fuss. It looks like he does have a finish on this board with the queen pocketed, but since it's a little difficult, he decides to make sure Lenus doesn't have a clear path to a board with some points. This is stifling.
This is what we call in Carom cat and mouse game. It's well executed.
Was it a mistake? He did open up that whole lane for Chamil to execute.
Maybe, but Chamil he can pocket those coins to the other pocket as well.
He does have the one on Chamil's right, which would prove to be tricky. If he executes on that, it is just the last black. This is the one I was referring to.
I think he's going to push that and bring it closer to Louis. I don't think that has a clear path to the pocket. Ooh,
exactly.
He tried to do that, but unfortunately it didn't come. I didn't go as far as he wanted that to go.
Nicely done by JP, making it a little more difficult for Louis, but Louis could go to the other pocket if he's feeling comfortable. think that defensive effort was going to be short. Lenus should be able to finish this board. And nerves come into play.
Unusual for Linus to miss that. It was not an easy shot to play, those connection, but you would expect Linus to pocket that any time. Now let's see, JP is going to try to do the rebound. He has to be careful to make sure the striker doesn't go in.
Nicely
Very
done.
well executed.
That's a mistake again. It should be 4 points to Louis. He's taking his time, making sure he commits to the shot and pockets it nicely. That's 4 more to the team of Louis and Chamil. That gives them 17 points. Just 3 boards done, 5 more boards to go. It still could be
Yeah.
a big cliffhanger.
You think
The first two sets surprised all of us. The first set should have been won by JP and Lenus, but Chamil and Louis take it away. The second set, Chamil and Louis were supposed to win it easily, heading into the last board, and it was payback time for Jayaprakash and Lenus.
Absolutely. You reckon this is going to go to the 8th board?
I'm sure all our viewers are reckoning that they want it to go to the 8th board. They want to be thrilled for some more time, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I think it'll be exciting game to watch if it goes all the way to the 8th board. But it just looks like, at least for now, it appears Louis and Chamil are running away with it. Let's see what JP and Linus are going to do. They're going to be, you can anticipate an aggressive play from those two players. Both Linus and JP are going to go all out, and they have to, because they need to get back on the scoreboard, and not only just get back, they need to get some big boards, get closer to where Chamil and Louis are. Otherwise, it's going to be very challenging for them to get closer to their score.
Unless the team of Louis and Chamil make big blunders on this board, I think it's going to be pretty difficult for Lenus and Jayaprakash to come back on this board. It is a beautiful strike, and nothing much to work with for Lenus there.
I know you mentioned about Louis and Chamil making a big blunder. I've been fortunate to play with them a few times. They certainly don't make any blunders when they're playing with me. But it looks like there's some nerves kicking in. Unusual misses by both all 3 players now. Let's see if
I
Louis
did
is
think
going to pocket something.
while Chamil's was definitely a case of nerves from my vantage point, JP's was a more difficult position to work with. And
That's 4 in a row.
was it on
All
purpose?
miss. That's a good question.
5 in a row, you'd say?
No, that was a difficult coin. I think he just tried to drop that coin there.
Chamil has made some room for the middle bunch.
He's going to go all out now.
With that white, he has to release the queen and the other white.
Ooh, almost.
He does that, but it's not in an advantageous position for Chamil at this point. He did go for it.
He did, as I said, both sets of players are going to be aggressive. Louis and Chamil are going to be aggressive because they're leading. JP and Paul needs to be aggressive because they are so far behind. They have a mountain to climb in front of them.
JP needs to make sure that Louis doesn't have a play on the queen and the white. The first thing you do, obviously, is what JP is doing. What it's available for you to finish, you try. That is an uncharacteristic miss because
It's,
though it's a difficult queen for um, Louis to execute, since he has to play a deep cut, he does that with ease, and now he has
game
to
over.
squeeze. And he has to squeeze. The reason Louis is taking time is to make sure he doesn't commit mistakes. And it stops at the mouth.
That's
It's a fortunate miss. It's a fortunate miss for JP previously, resulting in this position. It's not easy for the Lenus Jayaprakash team to get out of this situation. They cannot protect the white. They need to find a way to protect the queen finding its way to the pocket when Chamil gets his hand.
The first thing they need to make sure now is they got 5 blacks on the board. They need to pocket at least 1 so they can save the game. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen now.
This is Chamil with the center cut on the queen. Misses that. JP can save the game from being over on this board. I don't see how they can wriggle out of getting some points on this board. As I'm saying, we are very far away from where the game is actually being played, so they can't hear us. Just FYI to the audience. For sure, I didn't jinx JP into this situation. Louis should finish this with ease. And there are 5 black carom men on the board. That gives them 8 points. And that is it. Game, set, match, and semifinals is done. Congratulations, Louis, Fernandes, and Chamil Cooray. You have scaled another mountain. You're in the finals now. The finals audience is going to be played on Sunday, 2 days from today. This concludes our telecast of the semifinals game of the 2023 US Open Carom Championships. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Hope you enjoyed the excitement as much as we did. Madhu, any final thoughts on this game?
It was a fantastic match overall. However, then the third set, I guess the JP and Lenus just didn't have enough left in the tank, as Louis and Chamil were far more superior. I enjoyed commentating with you, Murli. This was my debut with Carom commentary, so thank you. Thanks to USCA, and hope the viewers enjoyed it. And tune in for the finals on Sunday.
Awesome, Madhu. It was wonderful to do this with you. Hopefully, we added some value to the viewing audience. Let's take it one step at a time, I guess. Lovely. Alvida. Good night.
Okay, good night, everyone.